I have a story time for you guys. If you guys don't know, my last story time was about Mr. Dubai money. If you haven't watched it, I'm gonna link it here so you guys can catch all of the tea. Basically, there's a group on Facebook called Bougie Talk, and they do these things where it's like, we listen and don't judge. I don't know, it's like a release you post and you hope no one sees it. This one's like, we listen and don't judge, crash out edition. I have, you guys, I want to say it's the craziest crash out in the history of crash out stories, and that's why I knew I couldn't be with him, because this level of toxic is insane. And we all have crash out stories, because look at all these comments. It's like 50K of us. This girl said she put sugar in his tank. Okay, I deleted all his 2K players and took his car keys. These crash out stories are insane, so I feel okay to tell you guys my story. Me and Mr. Dubai, we got into, it was crazy how we even got into a relationship, because I didn't even want to be in a relationship, and I told him that, and he was just doing everything in his power to get me to be his girl. Like, he asked me to be his girlfriend so many times. He flew me to New York towards the ends of our relationship. We would break up and make up all the time, and it wasn't for any reasons. It's just like where he was in life. He was not ready to be in a relationship. I'm gonna just leave it at that. He started having financial issues, and he let it stress him out so freaking bad. He became a different person, I swear. Like, and I'm like, you can't let money control you and change who you are as a person. You can't allow that to make you feel with rage and anger. He was taking it out on me. It got so out of hand and toxic and crazy. So I eventually was like, okay, you know what? I feel like we need to take time to focus on ourselves, and then we can maybe come together. So we just decided amicably to break up. And also his parents were so in our relationship, like so involved. It was so overbearing for me. We broke up, and then I was like, well, you know, if this is our goodbye, I'm gonna come over and like maybe we could just spend one last night together. Closure, you guys. This is all the toxic things we do, right? Broke up, and I'm on the way to your house. You guys, when I say it out loud, I realize how crazy that sounds, but he was for it. The more stuff happened that week. He ends up like going off on me in a sushi restaurant, and that was kind of the last straw for me. I was like, listen, I think we have to break up, because we've tried at this for so long and it's just gotten too toxic. After that, he blocked me. It was so unlike him to do that. Like, he was always hitting me up 40 messages a day. Mind you guys, I had like so much stuff at his house, because I didn't live there, but I was there all the time. So I had hit him up because I didn't know if I left my SD card. You guys, I still am missing this SD card till this day. I don't know. And we had videos and stuff on there. Like, there were certain videos on there that only were really for just him and I. It wasn't like I'm going back for a bobby pin, you guys. I'm going back for a memory card. This crash out lasted for about 3 business days. I'm trying to call him off of different numbers. I even called him from his own mom's number. Now I'm getting aggravated because I'm not even trying to talk to you like that anymore. But what I'm gonna need from you is my SD card. I just want to get my things from you, and I can move on with my life. I hate like leaving doors open, halfway open. In the middle of that story time, I had to live my life. So I'm back. This is like so embarrassing. I don't know why I'm even choosing to share, but there's only one thing about social media that really turns me off, and it's the fact that so many people get on the internet and try to act like they're perfect and like, this is my ideal me. And I always think about like young girls who are like 13, 14, 15 who go online and just see all these people portraying perfection, and then yeah, they might start feeling bad about themselves, and I hate that. So that's why I choose to share not only the great times in my life, but I'll share whatever. I don't really care. So I wanted to get my stuff back. He's completely blocked me. He's not answering any of these different tactics. And then I was like, okay, you want to play these games? We could play these games. We'll call her Brittany. Brittany is the queen of staying in a toxic relationship. So I talked to Brittany about the entire situation. I'm like, Brittany, I really want to get my stuff back, but also too, like, I just hate the fact that I'm blocked. How should I go about this? So she's like, let's go see if he'll be at the gym. He always goes around the same time. We go to the gym, he's not there. her toxic boyfriend comes to the gym and they're both giving me advice at this point. She's like, we should just go and show up to his house. She's like, I'm surprised you haven't pulled up already. I would have been over there. And I was like, oh my God, am I handling the situation too standoffish and stand backish? Her boyfriend was like, what I usually do is send a Zelle or a Cash App and write a message, and then Zelle will message their phone. He's like, you should do that. And I'm like, you guys, this to me is not sounding like really good advice. You guys, this is the real advice from my friends. I'm like, you know what? I don't think I have it in me to do either. So then what I ended up doing pretty much was, let me try to call him off your phone. Let's try to call him. She calls him, he answers, and she's like, oh, I'm with Maya. She really wanted to get hers. And as soon as she's about to say it, he hangs up, blocks her. And she was like, let's go. And I was like, no, no, no. So then there is a way you can call people off of different numbers. Like, call him off his mom's phone. He's like, hey mom. And I was like, as soon as he hears my voice, hangs up. And I was like, okay. Because now I'm getting aggravated because now I just want my stuff. Call off his dad's phone. There's so many ways to call people, you guys. I didn't know that. One of my friends, he's into that type of stuff, so he was giving me the rundown. I go out that night with me, and this is a different friend. I'll call her Rachel. Rachel's like, I'm gonna take you out. I don't want you to be upset. Let's go out. Let's drink. Let's have a great time. Forget about this man. And I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. And we got pretty much wasted. One of our friends didn't drink the DD. And now I'm feeling like I have liquid courage. I told Rachel everything Brittany told me to do. I was like, Brittany said I should have went over there. And Rachel's like, duh, why haven't you went? And I'm like, I don't know. I want to respect his space. She's like, yeah, but if he has something that's important to you, then you should go and get it. I'm like, okay, you know what? I want to go. But before we go, I'm gonna give him one last chance to make this amicable. I go ahead and ask the bartender. I said, hey, can I use your phone? I use the bar's phone to call him. No answer. Rachel's like, let's go. This is total D and total dumber, giving each other advice. Literally, I'm like, great idea. Great idea. Why didn't I think about it before? Let's go. We're in the car. We're trying to formulate how are we going to pop up at his house. Mind you guys, his parents live with him. How am I going to go over there and not alert the parents? Just him. Every time you go to their house, as soon as you get in the front of the house, the lights go on. So I was like, we cannot pass their house. If we pass their house, the light is gonna turn on. They're gonna be up before he is. Listen, what we're gonna do, we're going to pull up on the other street. Like if the street is this way, his house is here. We're gonna pull up over here. I'm trying to be considerate this whole time. I feel like it was very inappropriate for him to block me before returning my things. So we pull up to the neighbor's house, turn the lights down. I pull up to his house, ding, 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 ding. And I forgot a main attribute is that on the side of the house where his room is, there is a fence. It's like a white wall that goes up like up to here if I'm standing up. I'm like 5'9". I hoist myself up over this ledge. I was like Humpty Dumpty took a great fall. Like I literally got up there and rolled down, and all you hear is shh. At that point, I saw a light go on in his room. I think he might have heard me before he saw me. And I'm just like freaking out at this point because I'm like, am I really here? I knock on his window, like 2 little knocks. I don't hear anything. Like, geez, okay, what a failed mission. I'm gonna go back. As soon as I start to step to go back over this wall, he opens up his blind and he's like, what are you doing here? And I was like, hey, can we talk? Can you come outside? Because I don't want to wake up your parents. He's like, oh, okay. And then I go to the front of his house. there's like a little seating area. During this time, he was like not drinking. So he thought he was holier than thou, even though he drank all the time. He's like, have you been drinking? You smell like alcohol and all this stuff. He's like, Maya, I am trying to get over you. And I don't think us being around each other right now is a good idea. I was trying to fake cry because I was like, if I cry, he will have some sympathy for me. I don't remember a lot of this conversation. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I do not remember a lot of it. He was so stressed out, you guys. He had a sty in his eye. He was like, do you see how stressed I am? I have a freaking sty. And I was like, I understand that. He was getting kind of loud. And then the light in the front goes off. He realizes my car isn't there. He's like, wait, how did you get here? Where is your car? Oh, I was like, my friend dropped me here. I didn't tell my friend was still there. Him and I are having a conversation, right? This is the first conversation we've had in weeks. My phone is going off like crazy, but I'm the type of person, like, if I'm having like a heart-to-heart with someone, I'm not gonna touch my phone because I just feel like it's so disrespectful to do. My phone is in my back pocket. I feel it vibrating, but I'm like trying to be present and listen to him. All I hear out of nowhere, the loudest scream. Maya! Someone's screaming my name. And he's like, is your friend here? I look to the right of me. Rachel is stomping towards me, fast-footed. I've discussed with Rachel plenty of times. I truly think Rachel is allergic to alcohol because Rachel, after a glass of wine, is at an 11. She's running towards us like a bat out of hell. She's like, they pulled a gun on me. They pulled a gun on me. And we're both like, who? I went looking for you and I went to the neighbors and they've pulled a freaking gun on me and put it to my head. So within the time from when I left the car till now, she forgot that we were parked in front of the neighbor's house. So she goes up to the door, starts banging on the door. She's like, he pulled a gun to me and held me at gunpoint. All I see is lights come on. His dad comes out. Me and his dad were on pretty good terms. His mom is one of those moms that kind of is obsessed with her son and I think honestly would marry her son. So I think she's had always a little bit of animosity towards me already. So the dad comes out. The dad is like, what's going on? The one thing I didn't want to happen is happening. I'm just stunned right now because I'm like, this has escalated. And I'm like, my friend just got a gun pulled to her, what? And then she goes up to the dad and she's like, is this his dad? The mom is in the back. I don't know how much into detail I can go with this, but the mom, she says something slick under her breath about me. And I was always so nice to the mom. Visited her in the hospital when she was sick, brought her candles and stuff. So my friend is screaming that she just got a gun pulled to her. The mom is screaming now. The dad is like trying to separate everybody. Me and Mr. Dubai are kind of just like not even saying anything at this point. We're kind of a little speechless. We're like, everything is clicking to me. I'm like, this is essentially all your fault. Zero accountability, you guys. She's like, Maya, let's go. Come on, let's go. It's not worth it. And I'm like, you know what, you're right. Rachel sleeps over that night and we wake up. I'm thinking back to the night before and I'm like, did that really happen? Who was that? And Rachel wakes up. Rachel's first thought when she wakes up is, let's go back over there. And I'm like, dude, we cannot. We actually cannot. Like, we can't. So I still didn't get my stuff back. Because that's the thing guys do sometimes is like they will try to keep a chapter open. Like, let's talk about it next week. Let's talk about it in 2 weeks. And like, I don't want to do that. When I'm done with someone, I'm done. I want my things now. I don't want to drag it out. And I was like, if I go over there, I definitely can't go with you because you escalated things. I also asked Rachel, I'm like, Rachel, what happened? Did they really pull a gun on you? She's like, well, no, it was actually, he just showed a gun in his belt. We finally speak and he was like, yeah, like I definitely feel like you should call my mom and apologize. Which I did try to apologize to her. She screamed at me again and I was like, well, I guess she doesn't want to hear from me. That's my craziest crash out story time. I had never ever crashed out like that before. I honestly think if it had nothing to do with my SD card and like my personal belongings. I don't think I would crash out like that. He obviously wasn't it, and I never got back my SD card. But I did come out of it with a really crazy story time.